Good evening, people. Good evening. Yes, this is Spirit again, a Spirit Journey, doing another live stream. Yes, today is Monday, March 6th, 2023, and it's just after 9 o'clock in the evening. How you all doing? I hope you all are doing well. Yeah, I stayed in today. I was tired. My legs were like really tight. I had did my regular walk in the morning with my gang, my little fur babies, and then I had to do another errand. Do an errand, and wow, my legs are tired. I felt tired this morning. So yeah, I stayed home and Um, made some comfort food. I was experimenting with these ingredients. I went to this Indian spice store. I like those ethnic foods and the spices and all that. Yeah, I need to add more pepper. Yes. Yeah, so I made a big thing of pieces of chicken. I had it marinated in yogurt sauce with spices. I need to put more spices in it, more pepper in it next time. But it was okay. I didn't eat all of it, so I got leftovers. So I think I'm comforting myself these days with food. Uh, I guess it's a coping mechanism. Um, yeah, that's what I'm doing, and try to calm down. It's very, very weird society. And so sometimes I say, the people going crazy. Hey, let me look up at food videos. So I've been watching some food video. Yeah, all day yesterday I was watching food videos and part of today. Yeah, kind of backslid in the sense of watching triggering videos. I watch both the food video and the nonsense videos. Boy, so let me talk to you about some things. As I wrote in the description, I want to talk about these videos that's being shared on the internet about people going cuckoo over uh, that and or their food order. Fast food places gave them the wrong order, and they're going ballistic, crazy. So the one I saw today, it was a young woman, a 5 months pregnant uh, Caribbean sounding woman from Florida. And yeah, she had a mother with her at this, oh, what do you call it when you get your lawyer, talk on your behalf? I forget what you call it. But what happened, allegedly happened on camera, this 22-year-old, 5 months pregnant. Well, she said that she was 5 months, but she placed her order online, and when she went to get it, she saw that the order was wrong, and so they said that they'll correct the order and or give her back her money. Either one. They wanted to you know um, help her out, but she just went ballistic, and she goes behind the counter and starts damaging the store and scratched one of the employees. And then she had her sister with her, and the sister was pulling her away, trying to calm her down. And in fact, this same lady allegedly, is dialed the police, 911 at the store, at the fast food joint, and was complaining to the dispatcher that they got her order wrong and this and that. And then she, after she does her damage, She allegedly goes at the exit door, pulls up her top, to show her belly, and then she bends over and starts twerking. And then she leaves. Who was with her was her sister and her mother, and then they drove away. And then something with the boyfriend or some other male person later, was to uh, get her or something, go someplace with her. Um, well, the police force there, like I guess like a chief or something, broadcast, announced for the media to find this, arrest this lady, to find her, help them find her, to arrest her for felonies as a result of her behavior. And they showed the film, what she was doing and her twerking, because the order was wrong. And um, I was shocked at the movement. But get this, people, get this, what happened. So I wanted to, so this was about maybe 9 months ago or something. And I'm just hearing about it now. Um, and so I was looking to find out if they had arrested her, or whether they found her, because they broadcast the whole thing, and they were, the parent, the mother and the sister did talk to the cops. The girl in question is in hiding, and the cop, the chief said that the mother, and the sister were very compliant in helping the cops, whatever. Um, so I was just curious, and we went on the internet to see if they ever captured her. But what I did find was that what do you call it? Not a conference. What do you call it, people? When you want to broadcast, to the media. The girl got a lawyer. The mother was by her side, and other, I guess, relatives or friends, her entourage, and she's holding her mom's hand, and the camera zoomed in on her belly. She had a shirt on, um, outside of her pants. Um, and the lawyer, she gets a black lawyer. The ladies are West. At least the mother had a very West Indian accent, and she had a black lawyer. And guess what the lawyer was saying? Oh, that the police chief, embarrassed her when he gave her a bad reputation, and making fun of her, that she has a mental problem, and this and that, and making people not being sympathetic because of her mental state. I couldn't believe this. See, she can't use the race card. So now they're using the mental card that, oh, well, I have they don't know what you have. They just know somebody got the order was wrong, and they said that they'll correct it. And she went berserk anyway. And when, they had her, to be arrested, they were trying to find her. And she didn't like how they portrayed her. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. And then there was another video of a woman, about her biscuit. They forgot to put the biscuit in her order. And she went cuckoo also. Oh, I almost about, wait. Oh, there's so many of them. Yeah, she goes ballistic. She was in what do you call it when you have your car going? Drive-through, that's the word, drive-through. And that woman ran her car, big car, into the building. And she might have also had a, one of them had a gun. Someone had a gun in one of the incidents. There's several incidences of different people. Another one, a couple, interracial couple, an Asian lady and a white guy, and this is in another country. I think it could have been Australia. And they're in the car together, and the guy is being the boyfriend's being interviewed, and he says, maybe he shouldn't have. Uh, he said, I thought she was finished with the food, and so maybe I shouldn't have asked her for the fry. Yeah, the person, her girlfriend, went berserk because he took one of her French fries, and so she orders him out the car, and then tried to run him over 4 times. The car is demolished. And yes, they did arrest her. Um, Another one, oh, another order wrong, and person pulls out a weapon and pull back that cartridge thing, and then you hear the click, uh, ready to use it on the what? So my question is, people, what is causing? A lot of them are women, relatively young women. What would cause? I mean, remember a couple of years ago it was about the fish, well, not fish, chicken sandwiches. Remember that a couple of years ago that they had something with that? What is with people? Really listen. What is with these fast food places and people, customers going berserk because something was wrong in their order or something? You just go back, you just, hey, I didn't order, whatever, and they're okay. What is cool, and you notice a lot of them, I'm going to say it, a lot of these people are all people of color / black people, and in this one case, an Asian lady. What is causing these women, these behaviors? Um, I wonder what is being put in the food personally. Personally, that's what I'm asking. Um, what is happening chemically when they consume this fast food? What is causing them erratic behavior and violence, severe violence? I mean, taking your car and running it into the building, pulling out a weapon, a loaded weapon, etc. It scares me. I'm a little scared watching this because it was triggering me in remembering the school I went to. I went to a junior high school with crazy chicks like this. I was afraid. I was a very fearful child in especially junior high school. Elementary school was really bad. I went to all black elementary school, and then junior high school was integrated, and it was torture. I lived in fear for those 2 years, and it reminded me of these girls, these street people, street girls. We call them street girls, and they just want to fight all day. They love physical violence. Well, see my little doggy. Let me get. You need to get down. Because I think my little doggy. Let me go get my dog. Okay. Sorry. My little doggy had a. Okay, yeah, she's getting water. Yeah, we all get really thirsty these days. Yeah, I have to keep water in my room for me, and then my doggy's bowl for my dogs. Yeah, you hear her drinking? Yeah, she's thirsty. Yes, something's happening in the environment, and I'm wondering if it's all related. Yeah, there's no. It's been happening now. There's dryness in the air for over a year now, about a year and a half. Yep, I have to have water with me when I go to bed. I have a liter of water by my bed, and I have water for my dogs. Yeah, she's still drinking. Okay, I'll open that for you. Okay, let me just open the door. Sorry. Okay, okay. Sorry. Had to open it. Sorry about that, people. My apology. Oh, oh, brother, sorry. Just climbing back on bed. I apologize for that, yeah. Yeah, but I know something's going on. Something is going on. And I mean, just like here, there's something happening to uh, people and animals. This severe dryness, dry mouth, severe thirst. And no, I don't have diabetes, and my dogs don't have diabetes. Something is going on. My opinion, my thoughts is that something electromagnetic, satellites, these what do you call it? Yeah, these satellite dishes, and they could broadcast certain frequencies slash energies, and they affect the human body, the living body. And in this case, it seems like it happens at night, especially night, especially it gets real dry. And I'm wondering, why is this happening? I've been in this neighborhood for 20 years now. And why now? Because I think they're doing something. And I think some of these symptoms are related. I think they're related. These severe thirsts, and then these women that are being triggered. You know, I basically have a good diet. I cook my own food. I do like eating out, you know. But in general, I make my own food. And, you know, like I was saying earlier, you know, I made some comfort food. Um, and I like eating organic veggies. And I try to drink a lot of water to flush out my system. But there are people who live off of junk food and fast food joints. And I think these foods are being chemically altered. They are doing something chemically, and it's causing this violent behavior. I think it's an addiction that they're putting something chemically in it to cause into what happens when people, drug addicts, when you pull away their drugs, they flip out. You know, when they need their fix, right? Oh, you just hindered them getting their fix, and so they act out, right? What's the difference? Yeah, a couple of months ago, last year, I witnessed a little child look like a sweet little boy. And he had a meltdown when the mother refused the child to take her own cell phone. He took her cell phone from that, you know, those little belly bags. It was tucked away in the little belly bag. And so he opened it, and the mother puts it back in. And he flipped out. Oh, wow. It's addictions. Addictions to your smart devices, so-called smart device. See that? I think that's an acronym. Smart smartphones. I think it's. Let me know, those who know. Isn't that an acronym? Smartphones. There's nothing smart about it. But there's addiction phone, and it's causing children to be addicted, and when they can't get it, and they look, the people look like really, uh, wholesome family, and this kid was out of control, spat at the lady next to me, spat at her, kicked, scratched, and bit the mother. Wow, what would do this? Addiction, people, addiction. Oh, I think it's so sad. I think these foods, see, these big corporations, in my opinion, are doing something to the food, and they're part of a global attack on your mind. These big corporations are like a government unto themselves. They're such a monopoly. They get so big that they think that they are a government and that they can control the little people. And they want them to consume more and more of its product at the cost of your health. And a lot of these places that they have these businesses are in poor neighborhoods. Poor neighborhoods. Lily, you want to come up here? You want to come up? Okay, my doggy's looking at me. Okay. Okay, she's just walking now. Look, she's getting more water. Hear that? Wow, she's really drinking water. Good girl, good girl. Yeah, I feed them filtered water. Yeah, I drink filtered water, people. I don't trust what kind of water they have in there. You know, I don't trust it. So I'll do anything to help promote my life. So I filter my water, you know. So whatever it's in, I get less of it. But imagine these people out there who are dependent on junk food or fast food places, and they target poor neighborhoods. These poor neighborhoods, cut it out. They're poor and they're tired, and when they go home, they don't want to cook, and so they do the easy way out. Fast food joints. Start noticing these neighborhoods. They're fast food joints in their neighborhoods. And it's just easier to just, get the fast food, get real fat. Come on, you want to come up? Yeah. Get, they get really big. Go, my little doggy. Let me get my dog. Hold on. Come on. Let's turn around. Turn around. Oh, sorry. Oh, I just had to pull her back on the bed. Boy, she was getting really busy there. Yeah, okay, she's fine now. She's reclining. Yeah, they target these areas. And I believe that these black neighborhoods, poor Hispanic neighborhoods, that not only do I believe that they're targeted by the food that they eat, but I think those electromagnetic frequencies. So the food in combination with the EMF are triggering them. And I think maybe the past what was going on for the past 3 years, that if they had something given to them, don't you think possibly that could be getting activated? Yeah, my neighborhood is really, I mean, I went out the other day. Yeah, I live right near a homeless shelter. People from, well, where they're from. And some of them are looking real spooky, look like gang members. When they have those tattoos all over the face, and they have this gloss over their skin like this. I notice with people who do drugs that their skin starts to have like a gloss, this something substance on the surface of their skin on their face. And wow, they're letting this questionable people. Now I do believe people have some locations people are in danger and they want a new life. And if they legally come in, hey, I want to be a refugee, I'm in danger, this or that, and they go through the right channels. I have no problem with that. Honey, we're harming ourselves. People, my instincts are telling me, because they're looking more and more rough. There's a pack of them. And it's just a matter of time that they're going to be triggered. They're going to be activated to do something. They're being brought here because they're going to use them to do something, and it's not for the benefit of the country. It is spooky. And some of them look real spooky, and how they got through. Yeah, they were on, the place in question was on television, on the news, major news. And I said, oh my God. And I see something's gonna happen. Yet people, this is not by accident. Everything is tied to everything else. So whether they use spike the food with questionable, what do you call it, addictions, it's they need a detox. Yeah, this is a damn shame. I love my country. I love my country, but this is happening. And it's sad. I mean, when I was watching this, I was in disbelief. And I thought it was so extremely bizarre. Boyfriend, girlfriend, the guy took one of her French fries. They were eating in the car, and he thought she was finished, and so he just took one from the plate. And she went berserk, according to the interview. And destroyed the car, because she ordered him out the car, and then she tried to run him over about 4 times. The car's demolished. And they said it's on tape. They didn't show the tape, though. At least that video that I watched, they didn't show footage of, that happened in Australia, they said. So you have Australia. Crazy. It's spooky. I mean, I remember the past few years, how people are acting in Manhattan, with the center of the city. They're crazy. It's packed with people from all over the world. People desperate to make something out of their life, money wise. And if they feel that you are hindering their dreams, they're going to physically come after you. That's what scares me. I mean, this is one of the richest countries in the world, but you have people with a poor mentality, a poor mentality. And it's imploding on itself. It is imploding on itself. And I'm concerned. Yeah, I'm very concerned about this. Something has to be done. I mean, it's not the first time someone flipping out because the order went wrong. But as you see who's doing it, it's usually the same face, same type of people. What's triggering them? Something could be in the food. And with the past 3 years, people losing their job, where the company, these fast food joints, want I start to wonder if the fast food joints are purposely putting something in the food to make them want it because they don't want to lose business. This could be what's happening. It's quite sad. Yeah, there was something else I wanted to talk about too in all this. Um, yeah, I did a video some years back. I think I did it in 2017, and I still get comments about it. It's one of my more popular videos. Even though I did the video, and I really don't think much about the video. I mean, it was a long time ago. I said my concern and moved on with it. But it's still out there, and people are commenting. And I did a video about, well, I was watching a video, and it was the first of this kind that I've seen. It's about Puerto Rico and the Afro-Caribbean dance. I live in a place where a large percentage of the residents in New York City are from Puerto Rico, actually, and are very passionate people. That's a Caribbean island. It's owned by the U.S. They serve in the military. They get paid in American money. They're U.S. citizens. So they're my fellow countrymen. But some of the people of Puerto Rico or Puerto Rican descent was upset with my video. I did the video to showcase a beautiful dark-skinned black Puerto Rican woman. She was doing an Afro-Caribbean dance, and I was promoting it, and I shared that, it's something that is not really shown about Puerto Rico. It's African heritage, and X, Y, and Z. And when it went up, I had such a backlash from the video. You are who you are, and I did the video to uplift blacks as a whole, the blacks of the African diaspora, to love and embrace themselves, and that is okay to be of African ancestry. It's okay to have dark skin, African hair or Afro textured hair. You're beautiful. And I say that with all sincerity. But it got a backlash. And they were offended and part of showcasing the black woman. It's like, how dare you show that half of it? It's like, so unfortunately, some people want to hide their black heritage. And when reminded, it's like I'm exposing a secret. There are black people in Puerto Rico, and the racism that they may experience. I met some in the U.S. You would just think that they're uh, uh, um, a dark-skinned American black until they speak. And the girl was working at a fast food place, and she's telling me she was extremely upset that the people viewed her as a black woman and that she's actually Puerto Rican. And she was talking to me and just being grief. I said, look, um, try to console her. I said, it's okay. You know, you are okay. But it's there, the pain that they are experiencing. It's racism, and they're feeling it. And so to share a video of a Puerto Rican who's doing an Afro-Caribbean dance. So I shared this. But because it wasn't sharing the narrative of their Spaniard history, I was a bad person. You could talk about their Indian heritage, their white heritage. Many of them don't realize, they think that people from Spain are not white. People from Spain are Europeans. And it started the slave trade. Well, parts of them and Portugal. The whole colorism thing started from them. But many Hispanics in the Americas don't realize that Spain is not a non-white nation. Spain is a white European nation. So, people have to be educated. And it's sad. People want to hide their identity. And why I mention about this, I'm not here to attack anybody. That's not my goal, or to embarrass or offend. No, I'm not trying to do that. That you are who you are, wherever you live. You are you. You're not your color. You're not your hair texture. It's maybe what you have, but it's not what you are. You are beyond your body. You are infinity. You are infinity. And the whole concept of race is just a construct, a social construct. Most people on the planet are people of color. And many of the beauty, like India and areas around that country, they're just as dark as me and even darker. They are not their color. And they have fantastic artistry and culinary skills. The culture is really phenomenal. Most people on this planet are people of color. What makes my color is the same that makes their color. The term being black, it's a code. It's a code of a social order you belong to. It didn't always exist. That is a relatively new concept. It could start a couple of hundred years ago, around the 1700s. People were people, and people intermarried. I'm using the term intermarriage unions, sexual unions, and offspring as a result. People are people, but people are being divided, and people are hating one another. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you, guys or gals. Thank you. Um, People are being triggered to react and feel this emotional pain of what we call racism. I know I was one of them. Or I was a victim of racism and racialistic thinking. It's a bondage. Racism in the America, it's a bondage. But it's not real. It is not real. But we think it's real because what people do. They can make you think, and they can make you think the size of your feet, the color of your hair, anything, the shape of your nose, what political organization you belong to, what's your occupation, anything. And they know how to trigger us. And especially the past 3 years, we on this planet have been triggered to do foolish things, to live in fear. And it's all, in my opinion, socially constructed to hurt. It is designed to hurt and divide. Your racism feels real. I felt it all my life. As a little girl, I didn't understand why I was feeling what I was feeling, but I felt funny because we watch television and it teaches you to think certain ways about yourself, about your race, about your sex. And it defines us. And it puts people in social orders. It has people on top and then people on the bottom. And it's designed to keep it a certain way. And right now we're going through social changes. Yeah, there's a shift, all right, happening. Some people call it the New Ages are calling it the New Earth. And one person was just saying, oh, we're in the New Earth now. No, there's no new, not New Earth in the positive sense. Yeah, there's a takeover of the planet. But it's no utopia here. It's no utopia here. It's something that's happening globally, I believe. This sickness over people mentally. People are being triggered. And I think in part why I'm mentioning this, the stories about the ladies being triggered because the biscuit was missing or the chicken was missing, from their order, etc. And that what could be triggering them, something in the food or the EMF. But what if we're in a matrix and they're watching us? And they're observing us. And when they need to turn up the heat, they turn something on. Well, I mentioned earlier today in my first video that I did in early morning that I had another vision. Like I do my meditation. Many of you know about my technique in doing meditation upon awakening from dreaming or from sleeping. And so I did my technique upon awakening today. And I saw a vision. My eyes are closed in this meditation session, and then I have we call a clairvoyance. A clairvoyance means to, all seeing. You get to see something with your spiritual eyes, your third eye. and I saw a man, as I mentioned earlier today, what looked like a black American man, a soldier. He looked like a soldier type, and he had body armor on, like what you may see in movies. You know, those space movies. That's why in the title of the video that I did this morning, I said like a man in a spacecraft. Again, I don't know whether we're out in space, but you know, like in Hollywood movies, they show this like, remember Star Trek, that show, and how you see all these panels and things like that on the wall. Well, that's what I saw. It was a small, relatively small room, and you see this man. I'm not sure what he had on his hands, you know, because I remember his hands were down near his side, and he may have had something in his hands. But you see him talking. I do not have clear audience. I don't have that gift. So it's like watching a video but with no sound. And his face was pockmarked, you know, like he had like scars from acne or something, or stubble, razor stubble or something. But his skin was not smooth. It was very, very rough looking. And he had these goggles on. And he looks like he's laughing, like he's in a good mood, and he's standing. And I'm seeing this, as I mentioned in earlier, you know, this morning's live stream. Yeah, I believe seeing these things. It's not the first time I had a vision of things in space and spacecrafts. I believe that people are being weaponized. That they're planning on doing something. That there is a war that may be triggered, and they're setting us up. So they use these biscuits and all this stuff. The past 3 years agenda as part of this screening. Yeah, they're trying to get rid of people. That's a big part of it, in my opinion. But the triggering, and then they're going to do something. Yeah, this man that I saw in my vision, to me, he looked like a soldier. He was wearing this body armor, this hard, like a hard plastic or something. Let me get my other dog. He wants to get up. Sorry. Come on, let me get you. Oh. Oh, let me get back on. Oh, brother. Sorry about that. Oh. Yeah, all of us are in bed now. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, something is being set up, people. But even further, why I'm mentioning this, you know, as it relates to the ladies and the biscuit and the chicken mess and whatever, the order being wrong and people being triggered. Um, See, when I do these meditation sessions and I get a vision in the process, I'm sensing that because what's happening, like I see it, and then something, an interference results, and I felt like a flash of light hit my left eye, like there's something. So I'm assuming that maybe my eye is slowly opening, like when your eyes are closed, and when you're seeing your vision, your inclination is to open your eyes because you want to see, right? But it's something that's happening internal. It's not because it's not your physical eye, but I felt like a spark of light my hit my left, you know, I saw with the left eye. So I thought my eye was opening, you know, my eyelids were opening. So I wanted to try to keep it shut. But but either way, when that occurred, that's when everything started to get dim and you couldn't really see anymore. And then I saw a being. It looked my impression was that this being, humanoid being, it had arms and legs, it stood erect, but it had this outfit on. It looked like, it looked like a Hollywood thing, like a Star Wars type of person. I wish I wish we were better with the details. Because when you see it, so what in the hell am I seeing? Again, my eyes are closed and I'm seeing this. Like then all those, you saw that thing, whatever what it was, and then um, it was a very masculine energy. And then this thing like this screen or like as I described, like in the military when they're trying to cover equipment or something, from planes above. It's like a net and it has these jagged cloths. Well, that's what I saw. That's often occurs. So like you're looking at something and then boom, this filter comes up, so to speak, and blocking what you see. That's what always happens. So I believe that when that the planet, that there's a grid. I believe there's a grid over the planet, and then other people talked about it too, that there is an invisible grid. And when you're um, like astral traveling or let's see, a near death, that you can only go so far because there's a grid over the planet. And if someone tries to penetrate certain grids, like an alarm comes up, and then this, the filter comes up so you can't go through or block your vision. And that's what's happening to me. That is what's happening. And so this technique I've been using, that now I saw this being, it was big. It seemed big. And it seemed in a state of awareness. I know those are just vague words, but like one minute I saw the soldier, the black American looking soldier in body armor and these fancy goggles, in some type of what reminds me of like on Star Trek. You saw these gadgets and lights behind them. That you have beings, and they have control over. They were able to find out that somebody is piercing through. It's weird, people. Absolutely weird. It's something that's being triggered in them. This grid, and anyone who tries to pass it. It's not like I wake up and say, oh, I want to see such and such. I'm just doing meditation. And I see whatever what I see. That's all. Yeah, I in no way, I don't want to get in anybody's business. That is not my style. Never has been. But I'm seeing what I'm seeing. The universe is showing me what it's showing me. I don't know these people. I've never seen them. I live a very simple life. I get up, walk my dogs, come back, or get some groceries, come back, eat, and just, chill out. But here I did see this, what looked like a soldier. And then this being, once I was detected, then I see this being. So, and then it started to get darker, the room, like what I was able to see was fading. And then that screen thing, whatever, that blocking my view, and boom, I couldn't, and then when I try to force it and try to keep with the vision, sometimes what happens, I see like it's almost black, but you see like something moving. It looked like many expenditures. Expenditures. Remind me of insects. I used to see what looked like these giant insects. I am not into bugs, but they look like little insects and they're standing. I can't believe what I'm seeing, but it's real, real, real faint. But you see these slight details. And there are other realities out there, people. There are other realities. What do you think about it, people who are listening now? What are your experiences? What are your thoughts about what I'm saying? But I believe that what I am experiencing during meditation is a clue about what's happening to humanity now. And the key is opening the doors that were closed and revealing. Remember in the book of Revelation, the re- revealing of what is closed. It's a time of opening doors to put you in the know. Yeah, we're like this is a prison. And they had us totally believing all these lies in history. I mean, I'm finding videos. They're talking about Adolf, I'm sorry, I don't want to say that name. That person from World War II, that leader in Germany. Well, now the FBI or CIA is releasing information about that man, that he was in the U.S. I'm sorry, not in the U.S., my mistake, in South America, that's what I meant to say. And they have documents of people who met him. A lot of the information is censored, when they black out a lot of stuff. Yeah, multiple documents. Yeah, the government knows everything. I mean, I believe they know more than they want to let you know. Why wouldn't you want someone? Okay. Hey, good morning. Yeah, I don't know that name. Oh, is that his mother's maiden name? Yeah, I think yeah. Hey, how you doing? Yakov. Yeah, Yakov. Long time no see again. Yeah, it's always good to see you, Yakov. But yeah, they are documents now. Yeah, 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 yeah. I think his mother's maiden name. Yeah, I, I, I mean, it's really fascinating that. Oh, too much snow shoveling. Oh, shoveling. Yeah, we had a little frost last week. Yeah, I went out last week with my dogs with the snow. Yeah, I wanted my little boy to go out there and get some. It was just like a dust of snow. It was challenging though, even with a little dust of snow, it was hard to maneuver the stroller. But yeah, you're right about that. The I think that's the mother's maiden name. But yeah, they know he did not die in that bunker. Yeah. So, but now I went to a Jewish-run Board of Education system here in New York City, and I watched all those documentaries in the 1970s on that particular country, and they all said that he died in a bunker. You also have um, I forget the name of the YouTuber. Oh, what's the name? Oh, I think it's called Boris Arialis. It's a fantastic channel that I fell upon maybe 7 years ago. And it was about, they talked about World War II, and they interviewed these guys that belong to an organization of U-boats. I think it's called U-boats. And they meet up and they share their knowledge about these U-boats and these submarines. And they had information on that guy in question. I kid you not. It was the first time I ever heard of anything like this, because I was taught that that person died in the bunker with his uh, girlfriend, and the Russians got his teeth or something, and they examined it and said it was him, right? Well, that's all a lie. Maybe they might, maybe they did find a body, but it wasn't his. It was not his. And I mean, someone like that loved himself, and you know, he left. I don't know why the others weren't able to leave with him, but yeah, he escaped. Yeah, the organization knew about his whereabouts. And this is something that I watched on YouTube. I think it's Boris Aurealis. They're a Norwegian channel. I mean, the guy is from Norway, and it's fantastic. It's a audio. What do you call it? Audio with podcast. I think you call it. It's audio, and it's fantastic. If you like to listen to talk, intellectual talk, you will like the channel. I haven't watched it in a while, but it's very interesting. And yeah, they had guests, and they interviewed people. They visited the countries in question, and then they said that he may have died in the U.S. No, I mean, I'm sorry. Got medical treatment in the United States, and he could have even been around in the 1960s or 80s when he finally died. I forget which one, either 60s or early 1980s, when he finally perished. So they would have to know. They would have to know. It's bizarre. So when I just saw this other program just last week, it was on the History Channel, and it's on YouTube. And I found it just by chance. And I listened to it. I said, "Oh, I wonder what this mainstream television show has to say about this particular man in question." And it was like, "Oh, we have some documents from the government saying, that they heard rumors that he was hiding out here and there." Honey, why they mention it? Why are they mentioning it now? Why? Well, maybe they're setting us up for his return. Yeah, well, don't you think that maybe, why would you mention something that happened 70 years ago now? It's a time of revelation, people. Maybe he's dead now, but maybe, you don't think that they might have cloned him or put his consciousness somewhere else, and then is he going to be the new Antichrist? Hello, people. Hello. See, they always do a big introduction first. What do you call it? And what's that? Premiere. That's the new word I'm hearing. Premiere. That they give you a premiere first. And then, boom, they're going to put them up there. Something's happening. Why now? Why do you care about someone who allegedly died about 70 years ago, and then do a story now? Oh, we got documents. The documents have been out there for years. Why are they hiding it? Why are the Jewish people that's in government hiding this information if he's such a bad guy? Well, he wasn't a bad guy evidently to these people because they let him get away. They let him get away. Why? Because he's actually their hero. He is their hero because without him, they would not have gotten that country in the Middle East. And that's what it's all about. So one faction was to get that country in the Middle East, and the other was they were setting up headquarters in South America. And they were setting up shop in, what's that, either the North Pole or the South Pole. They have a whole thing there. They allegedly did a deal with the extraterrestrials. You notice now in some of these videos, like I was getting all of a sudden commercials about, they had the video of these what do you call it, like these alien beings behind New York City skyline, and that they came in peace. They're setting you up, people, of a visitation. That's what it looks like. Again, I don't know, but that's what it feels like. See, they always do a premiere to test the ground, to introduce you to a new concept because it's going to happen. Oh yeah, I've heard of that Project High Jump. Yeah, I know what you meant. Yeah, Project High Jump. Yeah, I know I've heard of that. I heard I have heard of Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam. Yeah, Project Bluebeam I heard about that they want to project something in the sky, a hologram, and have the hologram show you a Jesus character, right? You know, there's some people, like I watched some videos about people who have near-death experiences, and these some of the people see, this Jesus character, a so-called holy man, and I'm thinking if this guy comes and visits certain people when they have a near-death experience, what the hell is he doing? Why is he dilly-dallying and not coming down and saving? So he's going to go visit some people who are in a near-death experience, but he's not rescuing them or the people rest down here. There's no, in my opinion, a God force would not dilly-dally like this. No, this is phony. I love, though, the story about the man named Jesus of Nazareth. The four Gospels, that he seemed like a nice guy. The character sounds like the nice guy, but someone sounding like a nice guy and reality are two separate things. I do not believe that someone of what they discuss in the Gospels in the Bible is someone that would go visit somebody who's on a near death, and it say, okay, you can go back. You're not finished here. There, when is he coming back? When? Okay, Barabbas, my hero. He's what about Barabbas? Yeah, Barabbas. Yeah, they wanted Barabbas out. Yeah, it's unbelievable. It doesn't make sense. Does that sound like a holy guy? Someone who has all this ability, allegedly, and 2,000 years ago, we're still waiting, and people still suffering, but he's a good guy. He's coming back. Oh, he visited some people. I once saw the Jesus character. Oh, yeah. Let me share. I've shared it before. This was in my early days of the practicing Christianity. He took 30 years to find out what happened to him. Oh, wow. So yeah, what happened to me? I had moved to the Caribbean over 30 years ago, and I was under stress because um, I was like in a probation, of my new job, and I was lived alone. I didn't have any furniture. I slept on the floor, and I guess I was under a little stress. And then I had this dream about I woke. I mean, I was dreaming of I was out in the field with grass and trees, and we like in a meadow, and I was in a circle with other young women, young white girls. They look like teenagers or something like that. They were young girls, all slender, and we were all, I didn't see what I looked like. I was just with them, and I was part of the circle, and they're all wearing white dresses, I think sleeveless. They're all slender, all white girls. And I forget what was might have been in the center of the circle, but at one point, it came to my mind that, oh, this holy person is going to um, walk on us. Like the game was, in this circle, we're going to throw this big white sheet up in the air, and we're going to run underneath it, the ladies, young ladies, and go on our backs, and then this Jesus character was to walk on top of our belly. And when he walked on top of my belly, I saw his feet, and my solar plexus got activated. It was like a highly pleasurable thing moving my solar plexus. That was my first time being activated, and I was so excited. Now this was my early Christian years, about 30 plus years ago, and I never did drugs. Didn't drink, um, but I had this dream, and my solar plexus got activated in the dream, and then I woke up because the sensation was so strong. And then I had another dream, I think shortly after, a couple of days later, I think, another spiritual dream. It was one of those dreams like everything was a hyper color. Like the blue sky was ultra blue, the trees were ultra green, and I had jumped in the back of a red truck, went on my back, looked on, I was on the flatbed, and I looked up at the sky and I said, I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going somewhere. And then I was getting activated in the dream. And then I woke up, I was ecstatic, pure joy and excitement. Yeah. And then that was on a Sunday. I went to church, and then I got activated in church, and then I had a full explosion in my body. I started screaming. And if you knew me back then, I wasn't a talker back then. Yeah, I know it sounds hard to believe. I do all this talking now. Yeah, I'm making up for lost time. But yeah, I got activated. And I had a kundalini. I didn't know that term back then, but I believe it's what's called a kundalini. Yeah, my solar plexus got activated in church, and it was growing and growing and growing in intensity, and I started screaming my head off. It was such a pleasure like you wouldn't believe. And again, I don't do drugs, I don't smoke anything. No, clean life, and yeah. So, so how is it that if this was Jesus that I dreamed about, what's he doing with a whole bunch of women, young women, with a blanket and walking on top of our belly? isn't he saying that he was to prepare a place for us? If he's preparing a place for us, why is he there in my dream? Who is behind showing people this Jesus type character? Yeah, I did not see the person's face, um, I saw his feet. He was um, a Caucasian, and all the girls were these white girls. So, but we all know that Jesus is not. I mean, the people that lived in that part of the world are not European. Europeans live there now from Eastern Europe. But this is 2,000 years ago? No, they weren't living on that part of the world. So how come, if this was Jesus, how come they portrayed themselves as a European? And where did these white girls come from? Who were these young white girls? What was this? Well, who was behind my seeing this? So you have someone that can trigger a message to you and make you think a narrative. I think they were just trying to help me out and giving me courage. It was the first time that, I had just got out of the military and started my life all over. And why did I see this? And nothing else happened as a result. I mean, I had the dream and that's it. What was that for? Someone has someone is like um, I think observing us. It's like, see, I believe what's happened. Like I've shared this before. Um, when I took the ASVAB test, that's the test that you take to enter the military. And my recruiter asked me what my religion was, but back then I was an atheist. And that's what I call my, yeah, this is going way back. I mean, yeah, because I took the answer, I think I took the test twice. Oh, no, no, my mistake. I took it once, but um, I, uh, I had just graduated from high school. That's right. I just graduated from high school, and my father said, "Hey, why don't you two, me and my brother, go and check it out?" So we saw a recruiter, and and then some years later, I took the ASVAB, and then the recruiter, recruiter then asked about my religion, and I was an atheist. I know I responded about being an atheist. That I'm pretty sure. And he was upset because he had to choose on the statistics form about my religion. They had like Christian, Jewish, and etc. And so it dawned on me now that, see, you are, I believe, with what happened to me in the military and now, up to now, that you are assigned, because see, it's always a chance that you can die in the military. And they have to assign your body / your soul to your new owner. And that when you disclose who you are assigned to, that a marker goes on you. A marker, so to speak, a spiritual marker. It's like you're making an agreement with something or someone. And so if something happens to you, your soul gets assigned to this, you know, based on your religion, to whatever place in the afterlife. And so that's why he's insisting, no, you have to choose. He wouldn't stop. But I'm saying, well, what if someone is not any of those things? Doesn't matter. You have to be assigned. And so I later on did become a Christian. And so you get, people, you get, my experience, once you get assigned to a group, they want to keep you there. And when you decide to leave, there is a spiritual warfare goes on. And that's what happened to me in the military. I started to have, I was just thinking, I didn't do a damn thing. I was just having a thought. Well, people, some of your thoughts could be heard on the other side. I didn't talk to anybody about what I was thinking, but I was contemplating, hey, maybe I don't have to follow this, believe in this religion. And then I had a spiritual attack. And that's where I realized now when I think back on it, see, it was spiritual warfare. See, when you say you belong to a religion, then there's a claim on your soul, your body. That's what happens. And then and then you want to leave. Then there's a war. Hey, they want you. They want claim to you. And then I said to myself, I'm going to stick with Christianity. That's what happened. And the bad incidences finally stopped. It lasted for about a week, but it was spooky. I never had anything like this. I never had anything like this. And so when I think back now, hey, I think that we are assigned to groups. And all these religious wars is really about who has ownership over or claim over your body, your soul when you die. Remember in religion, they talk about, that Jesus is coming back soon and he's going to take his children with us. And they call it the rapture. Now, how is someone going to take your body, your flesh and blood up in the sky? Remember, because they said they're going to lift you up to the heavens, to the clouds. He's going to come in the clouds, and he's going to take his followers with him. How's someone going to do that? If someone has that type of technology, wouldn't they be able to use that technology now to get you out of here now? People, talk to me out there. Talk to me out there. Are you listening what I'm talking about? If someone had the technology to zap people just because they claim that they belong to a particular religion, don't you think the other religions have the same technology? That's just coming to my mind now. So what if someone is a Muslim? Doesn't the Muslim God have the technology to zap them up? People, what's preventing this God to use his technology now and to bring us up to heaven? So there's a muscle, but let's say they did have that technology. How is it that they're able to identify people who belong to him? Because you said so? Because you went to the Bible Babel Baptist Church? What about those who didn't go to church because they died along the way? But they confessed that, they went through the ceremony to, yes, I believe in you. Or what if they died right away? Or what if you're a good person in another religion, in another country? What is the determinant of who goes where? Who goes where? How are we going to go in the flesh? Because it sounds like that they said, oh, I remember it says that we're going to have our spiritual bodies. Our spiritual bodies. Well, what is this spiritual body? Isn't this the metaphysics? Is this why all of a sudden, you notice now they want us, in this, I just learned this today. That place in Ohio that had those trains that derailed. What was it? Um, what's that name of that country? Palestine. East Palestine. That's a city in Ohio. And it derailed up last month. Well, there's another derailment that happened 1 or 2 days ago in Ohio again, a different town though. Or what was the point I was bringing out now? I forget the point I was bringing out. But that how they're going to know where. Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember now. Well, Ohio in East. What did I just say? East Palestine. They're going to be issuing these people these bracelets, the smart bracelet to like a medical alert, and they want to give it to I think 200 of them out. Why? Well, if they're trying to let's say we were like I used the word premiere. This other person used the term premiere. Okay, you want to do a test run. So what if you get these bracelets, these smart bracelets, and then it emits a frequency? It emits a frequency, people. And what is this frequency? Oh, we can track down our believers. Everyone who has a bracelet is one of us, and we're gonna locate them and then beam them up. You notice some like in the UFO genre. Oh yeah, biohazmat suit. Yeah, yeah. Why not? Um, yeah, why not give everybody a bracelet? Why this bracelet? Don't you think it's going to be maybe used as a tracking system? So like not Lost in Space, Star Trek. Remember when Star Trek when they were on a planet or something? Then he says, "Beam me up, Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty." So their body was in one place, but for them to do that, they had to have a device on them that it can lock. Remember to lock on their frequency. Star Trek was really ahead of its time. Remember that. Captain James T. Kirk said, "Beam me up, Scotty." It's okay. I have to get your frequency. Okay, right? What happened? What happened? I tell you what happened. They were able to zoom in on him. Connect to his frequency, and then they um, raptured him. That's what the rapture is. You have to have the device on you. They have to find, pin down, get you. They have what do you call it, your brain waves. See, everybody has a body signature, and that's what this machine does. So once it gets his selected, then they can zap you. And then you get on the ship. Because remember they said, and we'll be raptured up to him. So you're not going to be on the planet. You're going to be somewhere else according to the book of Revelations. So maybe they're going to use a test run with certain people who are giving gadgets, these bracelets. Now, they already have bracelets, what do you call it, the medical alert bracelet? Because well, what if the person's in an emergency, blah, 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 blah. Well, they already have something. What if you don't have your card reader? Right? Got something to rub my eye. Yeah, what if if someone used an electro pulse, what do you call it? Those things? Though it's something. It's a pulse that is to destroy all electronics. I forget the term, but they could zap all electronics. So when you try to access it, it doesn't work. And you notice now, people. I'm just seeing the correlation. You notice now they're trying to push electrical cars. There's no more like mechanical cars. It's all electrical. They want everything to go electrical. When something is electrical, or I say computerized, it's electro computer. And if it's an electrical computer, it can be hijacked. It could be hijacked. And they could be tracked. And it could have you go where you don't want to go, right? Yeah, there's a reason for all this. They don't want gasoline anymore because they want to force you to see when it's all electrical, then they can put those components in them. Oh, the 15-minute cities. Yes, I heard about that. Yeah, in the Middle East, in Dubai. Dubai, no, no, I'm sorry, Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, the Line City. I heard about the Line City. Why are they, these Arab nations, why are they doing that? Yeah, see, these are smart people. They know exactly what they're doing. Okay, they say he got a ride from a self-driving car and won't let you get out where you want and hold you ransom. Oh yeah. No, they already practice this in France. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Oh yeah, that sounds good. That is something. And hold you hijacked in a car. Yeah. Yeah, oh, we're going to send you to jail now. You didn't pay your ticket or your taxes. Yes, 15-minute cities. Yes, I heard about that. Yeah, they're setting up. See, it's something. What's confusing to me about Saudi Arabia and Dubai is that they are strict Muslim country. Well, at least Saudi Arabia is very strict Muslim. Both are Muslim, but I think Saudi is even more strict. But they're setting up these big mega uh, buildings and structures, but they're being catered to what they call the Western world. The Western world. Why are they catering to non-Muslim countries? Why would you want someone who's not a Muslim in your country doing your thing? Why? Why would you do that? Yeah, the 100-mile long city. Yes, I watched that last week. Yes, I did. I saw that. Why are they doing this? They love what they want your money. But look at this. It's another way of controlling you. They're going to attract all the wealthy. Yeah, construction slaves. Yeah, I saw a video on that too last week on Dubai. And a guy, not German, Italian man from Europe, got a job offer in Dubai. He was in the hospitality business, and then they asked for his passport. He was hesitant, and then they uh, slowly took more and more of his rights away. And when he was entitled to his month off vacation after who knows how long, or almost a year, working 7 days a week, long hours, um, they said, okay, you have to sign this agreement that if you don't come back after the month, your manager and so are going to get their check deducted for the month. Well, he left, took his passport, and he didn't come back. But he did give one of the men money that they did take from him. He did not like his manager. He felt his manager was a part of the scam. And so, but that was the only way how he was able to escape. He escaped. And when I saw that was just last week, I saw that video. And I was very, very upset about what happened to him. I mean, I heard about how they treat the Asian people. They treat them like slaves. But I believe, and I know someone mentioned this also. I believe that the ruling families there are related to the same type of people who control this other country in the Middle East. And those people that live in that particular country have origins in Eastern Europe. And I believe they're the same people, but they're masquerading as Arabs, Arab Muslim. And I believe those two groups are actually the same people historically, but they have different domains and have different personas of how they're going to describe themselves. If you look at their behavior, I'm talking about the behavior between the two groups are identical. The schemes of trickery, I mean, they'll trick anybody. But these weird things and this, how they like to oppress people and control people. And they're just a small group. This was just a desert people. But the leaders, the rulers are ruthless. And they have this thing about slavery to enslave people. These people are building their own nation. They're building it. Why would you do that to people who are helping you? They're sadistic. Sadistic, some of them. And so I'm wondering whether what the goal is. They're getting everything set up for something. It's something big, it's how big everything. I mean, mega cities. People, maybe this is going to be the new capital, world capital. Oh, that's how it happened. Britain was a part of Dubai, I think. Yeah. It's amazing that how Britain, what do they call it? Protectorate? They call the term. They were a protectorate. I think Dubai was a protectorate of Britain, a protectorate. And you know what else? That I heard again. I don't know definitively, but it was made mention that what's his name? Prince William, who he's married to. Who is he married to? They said that her mother was Jewish. If her mother's Jewish, she's Jewish. How do you figure that? You think that's by accident? I mean, I don't care what her religion is. But so they have you focus on Meghan Markle being biracial, but yet the British family is the head of the Anglican Church. So if you represent the Anglican Church, yes, they're of German answer, that is true. But German what? So they are they're the head of the Anglican Church. And if William's wife is actually Jewish, so how could she represent the Anglican Church? See, there's a lot of overlapping that doesn't make sense to me. It's a cover up. They don't want you to know about her true identity, so they're going to focus on Meghan Markle being biracial. Who gives a crap whether she's mixed? Yeah, from Germany. Yeah, they have strong German. They have German connections, but they but now it's a link with the Jewish people. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that word. I'm just saying that there's overlapping. That you have a common denominator that keeps popping up. That's all I'm saying. I'm just noticing common things. Interesting. You are the seed of your father. Yeah. But you also, yeah, but you also the egg of your mother. you know. But I'm just noticing correlations that some things that don't seem related may possibly be related. That's all I'm saying. I don't care what one's religion is, or whatever. It's not my business. But I'm just noticing that on the surface, that someone is saying there's something. Yes, yes, that is true. But it's very interesting that I'm seeing that there's a link. Well, an egg is a type of seed, but you could say that the seed is watered. You have a plant, it has a seed. An egg is a seed, but it has to be germinated, and that's what the sperm is. A sperm is what germinates the egg slash seed, in my opinion. Oh yes, yes, I'm familiar with that. Yeah, yeah, merino. Yeah, it's a mixed race. But I'm just saying that you can't test two eggs. Okay, I'm just reading your remarks. Yeah, it's interesting, genetics, but I'm just noticing you have something that's being set up. You having something. It's like, why is that? You notice that those two nations, Saudi Arabia and Dubai, now they were a small, small, small nation, a desert people. Now, how is that the Europeans didn't colonize, I mean, really completely colonize and dehumanize the people there? They are afraid of Arabs, the so called Arab there. They're not treating them like how they do the Kenyans or the Nigerians, etc. These people, they treat differently, and why are they giving them that much reverence? Because I think it's who they really, really are. Who are they really? And it was mentioned that they may actually be of a particular ethnic group, and that they're not really so called Arabs, but they are pretending to be something, and they're actually tied to that other nation that we know about. You have to ask yourself, why aren't they being taken over? Why are they allowed enterprise? Why are they allowed the ability to control their oil and to build? Why aren't they allowing Nigerians to do this? Why aren't they letting that nation thrive? It has a lot of oil. Why isn't it? Why aren't they flourishing? Because I believe with Nigeria, that they're being told, the leaders are being told, do not advance because we don't want the competition, but we'll give you X money, X amount of money every year for you to keep your people down. And that's what they're doing. You think the Arab of Saudi is any more intelligent than Nigerians? Nigerians have been around for a long ass time. They were more advanced. They knew about the European for several hundred years, not Saudi. So how is this? Why is this? It's because of who they really are, who they really represent. And maybe they're building up the new world capital. Just speculating. It's just a speculation. I don't know. But I'm just brainstorming. They're making things ultra luxurious and humongous. Why? Don't you think maybe they're developing a new world capital? It's just food for thought. It's just food for thought. Yeah, they do all these, like you said, they're 100-mile city. It's a 15-minute city. You can only go 10, 15 minutes away from home. They're going to use what you call those computerized cars. Why? Why? Who's giving them this type of information? They're the only nations that want to do that. Where is this desert people getting this type of information? Why are they being permitted to advance? Why are Europeans allowing them to do this? Why aren't they allowing people in Africa to do this? Or people in South America? South America has oil also. But you see what's happening in South America. I mean, no, they're in Central America. Well, Central or South America. They're in a bad state. Was it Venezuela? They're eating dogs there now. Could you believe that, people? Oh, I saw that. We're both watching the same movies. Yeah, I saw that also about a week and a half ago with Haile Selassie. Yeah, but interesting. Um, the video I saw, yeah, they gave him they gave him some reverence. But interesting though, um, what the Rastafarians don't seem to know. Well, the documentary on Haile Selassie said that his nation had slaves. Let me repeat. Haile Selassie's nation, and Haile Selassie was the ruler of Ethiopia, and he had a queen, and she ruled this other queendom, but he was more popular. And then they mentioned, hey, you got slaves going in your country, and so he had to stop the slavery. I was shocked. Why would Jamaicans in particular, who follow Haile Selassie, want to worship? They worship him like a god. And he had slaves. His country. I never knew that. Never. I said, wow. Could you believe it? You're going to want to worship him? And he offered them land. Yeah, that was one good thing that he did, that he promised the Jamaicans that followed him a land in Ethiopia. Yeah, you have Jamaicans there. Oh, yeah, they said that he was either the King of Kings. But he got murdered. Yeah, they don't like to use that name, that term. Yeah, he was, I think, strangled. Yeah, he was killed by his own people. Awful. Yeah, they kind of hush how he died. But he didn't just die of old age. He was murdered. but they don't really want to let them people know that. Yeah, they he wanted um, he wanted one thing, and then you had a new faction that he wanted to educate his people, and so you had a new um, intellectuals, and either he wanted to stay one way, but they wanted socialism. I think it was socialism. That country became communist, and so he was overthrown. He was murdered. Haile Selassie was eliminated. He elevated them, and then they eliminated him. Wow. But yeah, why would why would they do what? I mean, if he actually had that slaves, why would you want to worship him? See that? See, I mean, a lot of us are really foolish, and the people who we want to worship, you know, they so. I mean, I understand. I'm not Jamaican, but I understand with the history of slavery, and you want someone to represent you that looks like they are in charge and they are in par with the European in strength. And so it appealed to them. But the power's in you. And people of the Caribbean can empower themselves by awareness and saying enough is enough. In my opinion, that's just my opinion. Yeah, you still have people in Jamaica. It's a lot of poverty there, a lot of crime there. And it'd be good if they can make it work for them in their country. So many of them are leaving Jamaica and moving abroad. And they're not going back. They're not really going in masses to Ethiopia. Why aren't they going? Because it's a poor country. It has a lot of resources, but it's a lot of people in poverty. And you know what else about Ethiopia? I know I'm kind of off the subject, but everything's related to everything else, I think. I was watching also about 2 weeks ago about Ethiopia and Haile Selassie. Interesting about the identity of Ethiopia. Yeah, it's one of the oldest continuous um, country, and their identity. Now, they had a woman that was a former model, Ethiopian model, and she opened up when she retired, I guess, from the business. She opened up a modeling agency of some type, and you see her, and you see these Europeans sitting down, and they're looking for 10 women to bring on to this group. And so they do the walk, and then and I thought this was interesting. Okay, Ethiopians have different looks. Ethiopia is right next to a Semitic country and right next to other what we call black nations. And there's a blend between the two groups, you know. The phenotype, they have different phenotypes. And so they had this one dark skinned woman, very shapely in certain places. And so the woman that had the modeling agency said, okay, I want to take you, this woman, for our West Africa show because she has a very African look. And so they looked at her she showed her facial profile and her backside. But then they said, but we want to use this girl because she has an Ethiopian look. Something, she did have a different look. We want to use you for the Italians. But I said to myself, This is Ethiopia. That's a country in Africa. So amongst Ethiopians, some of them will say that they're not African, but something else. So what is an African? Isn't Africa a region? Or now they're just saying it's a phenotype. So only certain phenotypes can call themselves African. It's embarrassing because they're all African because they live in Africa, right? But they're making a distinction between, I guess they have different genetics. And maybe deep down, it'll be interesting to know which one of those people were enslaved. Is it the one that looked more African or the one that looks so-called Ethiopian? Which one was a slave? You tell me, people. You tell me. So maybe that's why Ethiopia was being respected because they're not, the king is not perceived as being a black/African person, but something else. But yes, his country had slavery that was current going on at the time. And why does not the Rasta movement be aware of this? People are looking for heroes, but they need to look in the mirror and become their own heroes. They need to learn to elevate themselves. Like they say, be the change that you want to see. Be the change you want to see. So if you want to see a king, be that king. Be the king of your home. Be the queen of your home. Fix up your own country. Fix it up. And have your queen and kingdom there. Yeah. Yeah, to find out your worship, you started a religion with his name and finding out that they had slaves, black slaves, most likely. Wow. Yeah, I was meaning to Google that. Slavery in Ethiopia. That would have been interesting to look into. Very, very interesting. Yeah, I know, kind of going off the topic a little bit, but I guess I got into that because of identity and how people, you might look at someone and say that they are associated with a group, but sometimes there's a hidden genetics in a person, a hidden their phenotype, meaning their physical appearance is one thing, but genetically they have genetics of another group. And you know who else had this hidden genetics? Let me tell you. The person of the Third Reich, he had a hidden genetics. I learned last year, I was watching something about genetics, and they were mentioning certain people. So out of curiosity, I said, hey, what did so-and-so's genetics, what did he have? And people, that man of the Third Reich, who allegedly died in a bunker with his girlfriend, had African Y chromosome. That means, not just an African, but a sub-Sahara / black Y genetics. That means his father's 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 father, etc., was a black African. Yeah, oh, interesting. Yeah, yeah. He was an African. If he went to use the, what do you call it? Um, oh, what's that? African DNA company? They would have think, oh, he's a black man. European was black. Let's see. Europe was black in the Middle East. Yes, yes, I heard about that. Yeah, they had these statues of medieval Europe as these tiny black men. Yes, I did see that. What I'm speculating about that, yeah, I saw those statues, and they're highly revered. What I think would happen when Europe was being um, invaded by um, the Romans, that see Rome had what they call oh, what do you call it? Oh, how could I forget that term? Um, m- m- oh, it'll come to me. Mercenaries, that's the word. Mercenaries. Um, Romans, I believed, used mercenaries. Mercenary is like hired soldiers, hired people from other nations, and you're paying them to fight with you or for you. And they used African, they employed, I believe that they employed these Africans up there, and they were good fighters. So they were revered because, they did a good job. Yeah. And and also the Moors. The Moors were used. And I think some of those Moors, like in William Shakespeare has the book called Othello. He wrote the book Othello, and it was about a blackamoor, and he didn't like them. I mean, the character in the book, um, Othello, was a dark-skinned black man, and it was a hatred about him. And I'm thinking that um, the people that they sent over to Europe were black soldiers, mercenaries. And maybe this is part of the hatred that some Europeans have for the African because what happened early in their history. They remember, and they're punishing us for it. Yeah, they don't want the African. They don't want, yeah, they didn't like it. They did not like it. So, yeah, oh, so that person in the Third Reich has African DNA, sub-Saharan African DNA. So I guess I'm speculating here that his early history were probably these mercenaries in Germany, and he just intermarried with the local people, and the same in Russia. That poet in Russia, that famous writer, Alexander Pushkin. Alexander Pushkin also was a descendant. He was a descendant of some person in Africa. I guess maybe he was captured, prisoner of war, but his descendant or his grandson became a famous writer. And he's equivalent to a type of William Shakespeare of the Russian language. Yeah, so people were acquired all over the planet. When there was a war, they took the prisoners of war, and those who were intelligent, they put them in high positions. Just, even the Bible talks about things like that, like what they call the three Hebrew boys. who were kidnapped and enslaved to work in Persia, but they were to do official work. Yeah, there are different types of slavery. They took the best to work in high position, and the others were to do physical labor. So interesting that this Third Reich person um, had this ancient DNA, yet yet his regime is talking about white superiority and Aryanism. He is not an Aryan. His fatherland is Africa. Isn't that something? I just learned of that. I think in December, this past December or November. It blew my mind. Yeah, I did a video about it. Yes, I did. I showed the video in question. Yeah, so you can always just go on my channel and look up the videos that I did in November, December on that particular person. Yeah, I show it. I show the information, his DNA pattern. He has an African, a Y chromosome. It would be interesting what his mother's chromosome was. That would have been interesting. Yeah, I can check that out too. Yeah, you can check it out for me also. Hey, check out what his mother's mitochondrial DNA was. If they did his father, they would have also done his mother. And what pattern does she have? I mean, he would have his mother's X chromosome as well, because you get the X from your mom and the Y from your dad. So he has both an X and a Y. It'd be very interesting to see what his mother's thing is. Genetics is very interesting. So you can look at someone or look at that Third Reich person and you say, oh, he must be such and such, right? And he's masquerading as this type of person, right? But he wasn't. And I'm sure everybody else knew about who he was. Don't you think that they study people? They study people and they look for certain genetics in people / history of people, and they have you represent them. Yeah. So, but still interesting. He did not die in the bunker. And what you look like outwardly may not be of a so-called true representation of who you are. So genes is just, so-called race is just made up. You can look like anything. You can have two siblings, the same parents, and they could look different. It's so funny. And when I saw that, I laughed. People are dying because of what you look like, and it's sad. And again, trying to link back what I just said, what I said earlier about my um, doing my meditation and then seeing this being, this creature, like what they would have in Hollywood, those space creatures. And I'm wondering that they don't want you to see something. They want you preoccupied with the physical world. And the physical world, we start to believe. And the physical world, what you see, your body responds. Your body doesn't know the difference between an illusion or something that's real. And it responds by what it sees. And what you think affects the way you feel. And it affects your behavior. And so they want us to be captured by what you see and think that it's real. and that because of what someone looks like, you can treat them a certain way, or that you're better than other people, or anything. It affects our behavior, it affects our energy, and that's what they're trying to control. That is what they're trying to control. They're trying to control what we see, how we feel about what we see, in order to get negative energy out of us. They are manipulating the whole planet. And they're using certain people to do certain things, like a Third Reich person. And then when his time was done, they removed him. Why? She said they helped him get out. And those people that claim that they're victims from this era, why didn't they try to get him? They said that there's documents that show that he came to the United States for medical treatment. Well, a lot of doctors are members of that particular ethnic group in question. So why didn't they sound the alarm? Why wouldn't you sound the alarm if he's the bad man? Well, because he's on the same side. It was two coins. He's the same coin, but just one side of it. One was to master, acquire one land. The other one was to master another land. But they're going to control both. The system is going to control both. Right? One is of one religion, the other is another religion. But they're controlled by the same entities. The same entities control both religions. And so you want to, you do the meditation. See, they don't want, like when I was new in religion, my pastor was poo-pooing people who meditate, that it was evil and this and that, right? Well, if this is a holographic world, a computer simulation, and if your consciousness is being attached by something to make you see this 3D world, if you decide not to look at the 3D world, where your consciousness has to focus on something, because it's energy, and you cannot destroy energy. It just changes from one form to another. So when you turn off the lights, well, your third eye has to look at something else. And they don't want you to see what's beyond the illusion. They don't want you to see what's beyond the illusion. Because if you do, close your eyes from this 3D so-called reality, you're going to see beyond the curtain, and you're going to see who's behind the curtain. Maybe that's what the Wizard of Oz is really about. To pull back the curtains so you can see who is behind the scene. So this technique that I've been doing, I've been seeing behind the screen. I've been seeing behind this screen. I didn't ask to see it. I didn't ask for it. But I fell upon it. There is a world